Welcome back. Today we are going to start reviewing area of polygons. The four shapes presented are triangles, parallelograms, rectangles, and trapezoids. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to focus on is the area of a rectangle. Now we see a rectangle is a four-sided figure, and the area is the length times the width. The length being the bottom part of the rectangle, and the width being how wide the rectangle is. So let's look at a problem of how to solve for the area of a rectangle. We see that our rectangle is 7 yards in length and 4 yards in width. So to solve, we have our area is equal to our length times our width. 7 times 4 gives us 28, and because we're measuring in yards, that is yards square or square yards. We don't care about all four sides. We only care about the length and the width. So we just found the inside of this rectangle is 28 yards square. Now our next figure looks similar to the rectangle. It's just a little bit shifted. And this figure is called our parallelogram. Now the area for a parallelogram is the base times the height. The base is given to you, and the height will be given to you, and you'll see it with a dashed line with a right angle mark next to it. So our base is at the bottom, and our height is this dashed line with this right angle degree. That's how we know it's the height. We don't care about these angled sides. We ignore these. So let's solve for a parallelogram. We see that with our parallelogram, we have to know our area is equal to our base times our height, and the base given is 8 centimeters. Now we ignore the 7 centimeters over here. That's just a side. We only care about the height. And the height of this parallelogram is 4 centimeters. So 8 times 4 gives us an area of 32 centimeters squared. So we just saw the inside of this parallelogram would be 32 centimeters squared. Our next figure to review is a very common figure. It is our triangle. Now with a triangle, the area is 1/2 times the base times the height. And again, our base is given by being the bottom of the triangle, and the height is the dashed line with a 90-degree angle mark next to it. That's how you know what the height is. So let's go ahead and solve a problem for area of a triangle. All right, so we have a bunch of numbers with this one, but there are only two that we have to pay attention to. Our base, which is 14, and our height, which is 5. So we know our area is 1/2 times the base times the height. So this is equal to 1/2 times 14 times 5. Well, 1/2 times 14 is 7, and 7 times 5 equals 35. Now, because we don't have a unit on this, we would put units squared. So that way we still know these are square units, okay? They're not linear, they are squared units. Now, last but not least, we have the lovely trapezoid. This is like the Pizza Hut sign. If I can get my picture to move with us. There we go. Now with the area of the trapezoid, it's a little bit more complex. The area is equal to 1/2 times the height, and then that's multiplied by the two bases, which you have to add together in the parentheses. We typically say base 1 is the top of the trapezoid, and base 2 is the bottom of the trapezoid. Again, our height is given by a dashed line with a 90-degree angle mark. We ignore the slanted sides. So let's put this to practice. All right, here's our trapezoid, and we know our formula is the area is equal to 1/2 times the height times the base 1 plus base 2. Let's write this down here. So base 1 plus base 2. Okay. Now, base 1 plus base 2 has to happen first because it's inside the parentheses. So I have 1/2 times for the height. And when I add 6 plus 8, that gives me 14. And now since we're just multiplying, we can go from left to right. 1/2 times 4 is 2, and 2 times 14 equals 28. So again, we don't have units, we would put units squared. So the area of this trapezoid is 28 units squared.